and variety of sport. The fastest 60 minutes in sports is next. Once again, no other show in New England captures the essence of true competition like we do. Brace yourselves for another reason to wax jealously about things you look so simple, and you wonder why you can't do the same. Our own Phil Burton recently had a chance to meet the yo-yo men. Considered to be a mere toy, the yo-yo is so much more. A master stress reliever first mentioned as far back as 500 BC, used by the ancient Greeks. It was used by European aristocrats in the 18th century, and reportedly was used to take care of those worries by people with a one-way ticket to the guillotine. Recently, Phil Burton had a chance to meet those who have mastered the spinning disc and make us all wonder how it looks so simple, and we can't do the same thing.
The mystery of the yo-yo. Oh, okay, obviously I can't do that. I made that painfully obvious. But I have three yo-yo players who can. Jack Ben from A2Z Learning Store of Northampton, Massachusetts. Andre Boulay, yo-yo champion, also from Northampton, junior at UMass Amherst. And Eric Koloski, a high school sophomore, world yo-yo finalist. He was ranked 8th overall. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us about the sport. How much has this sport grown, Andre?
It's actually changed an immense amount. The evolution of the yo-yo in the past 3 years is just incredible. It's come from very basic tricks that people are familiar with, such as walk the dog or rock the baby, which we're going to show in a few minutes, to a lot of the more advanced string tricks that you'll be seeing. It's become a very technical sport, and there's a whole community of people that are just very much into it.
I want you to show us some tricks. All right, tell us the basic principles of the yo-yo.
Well, everybody probably has some experience with the yo-yo. I mean, it's a toy that's been around a long time, and we're talking about the competitive nature of it, but everybody has kind of a connection to it as a toy. Probably some of the best known tricks are things like walk the dog. People have seen that trick for years and years and years. That's definitely an old school trick, and it's still probably the most requested trick. If someone knows you're a yo-yoer, they're going to ask you to do walk the dog. But there's also tricks like rock the baby, where you're doing a basic rock the baby kind of thing like this. And you can do a dizzy baby if you want to add that in. Those are tricks that don't require a lot of skill, but they're building blocks for doing more advanced tricks.
So you can spin off and do other tricks off of that. Andre, what are some of the tricks you can do?
Yeah,
walking the dog and
we'll show you. This is a trick called the trapeze, and it's a very basic trick. You just land the yo-yo right onto the string, like so, and from there you can go into something called a double or nothing, which is going around the yo-yo twice, landing onto the string. And those are two very basic components in yo-yoing today. And so what you can take that is, you can do a trapeze, and you can roll off into a double or nothing. And by combining this together, this is a trick called the matrix.
It looks like
but you can see it. It looks quite technical, and it really is just the basic trapeze and the double or nothing.
That's amazing. Now, Eric, you like to use your one. Now, some people use two-handed yo-yos. You use both hands for yo-yos. You like to use
one-handed, yeah.
Show me some of the things you can do single-handedly.
All right. Here's some tricks that I did in my freestyle, like really complicated and stuff.
He's fast, isn't he? And as you just explain, how do you learn to do all this?
Well, most of the tricks I do, I just
keep
make
going.
up.
Show some more. How did you learn to do all this?
Just like making them up, like yourself, and like making up combos, like learning real tricks and like turning them into other tricks.
Show us some of the craziest tricks you guys have ever seen. I mean, in your competitions, you've seen so much.
Yeah, sure. Well, I can start off with one of the cool things that people started doing is something called lines. We actually land the yo-yo on the arm. And so you can actually get it to go and sit right on your arm, so it's just like that. And so there's a lot of different combinations of tricks that people are doing with that. You can go from arm to arm and stuff.
And you guys brought in a box here full of yo-yos. Why don't you show us some of the different yo-yos you have in there?
Yeah, sure. This is actually Eric's professional yo-yo case.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do with all these different types of yo-yos?
Just to mention, you don't have to have this many yo-yos to start yo-yoing. This is obviously Eric's case that he's collected over the years.
It's amazing.
And basically, you need two kinds of yo-yos. You need a butterfly-shaped yo-yo like this, and you need a thin yo-yo like this that is for looping tricks.
Okay.
So you loop with this slender
Can
style.
you show us some?
Some loops, sure. Looping is basically, you're not landing it on a string per se, you're just doing a loop like that.
Guys, why don't you show us some of the routines you have done over the past, so perhaps at your championship competitions or some of your competitions. Just show us some freestyling that all of you can do.
Sure, we can show you. Eric's going to be doing some one-handed yo-yoing. There's actually 5 different types of yo-yoing when you go to a contest. There's one-handed like he's doing. I'll be doing some two-handed. And there's also yo-yoing that you use a counterweight with, and yo-yoing that you use when it's not connected to the string whatsoever. Kind of like it looks like Diablo, or the Chinese yo-yo that people talk about.
Let's check that out. Yeah, go ahead.
But this is two-handed yo-yoing, and you can do tricks using the two yo-yos at the same time. This is called milk the cow. You can cross them. That's called a cattle crossing. And this is two-handed loops.
Now, this names I've also come across. Skin the gerbil. Have you heard of this? Skin the gerbil?
Eric.
Eric, why don't you show us Skin the gerbil? And why do we call them Skin the gerbil, and what's up with these names?
Well, the names of tricks come about for different reasons. Basically, if you develop a new trick, you can name it. There used to be an old trick called Skin the Cat, and I think Skin the Gerbil came out of that old language that was out there, and people just come up with fun names. Now the sport is actually progressing so quickly that we don't even have time to name the tricks anymore. They're getting so technical and complex so quickly.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. As we head on out, why don't you show us some of your tricks, go on and freestyle in front of the cameras, show us your skills.